So today we're going to be looking at the best meta defenders. We're going to go across all budgets, starting with the low and working our way up to see where should you climb. Because the whole point of this is to get to them top numbers. Obviously we have multiple defenders, multiple players in general, every single week out with all of the promos, all of the SBCs. I'm going to go through which ones are worth it. So we're starting off pretty low here. I can imagine a lot of people are already past this point due to the amount of rewards, the amount of coins that we get. If you're obviously not playing all of it, you're not playing champs, maybe you're just playing rivals, then you could be still at a certain point, but I'd still say you're probably one above this section. There is quite a few nice low-rated cards though from Tomori. Van de Ven now at 25,000. Incredible card. He is going to be one of the centre-backs to watch this year. His inform is already nuts, let alone then having the evolution on top of him. A very, very good card. And to be honest, absolutely smashed it in real life. Very, very quick. I can understand where he gets that pace from. We've obviously got a few of the lower ones. We've obviously got Bastoni, who is coming in at more of a price because of the rating, more so than anything, but a very good card that we saw in Team of the Season last year. Schlotterbeck with a nice upgrade this year. Undogi is an incredible left back. For very cheap, he is an undeniable, perfect option for a starter team. We have Bremer, and obviously the Serie A team is working its magic with the Thuram brothers, Godfrey, Varane, Kvaratskhelia on one side. Then you've got multiple coming in the near future, as well as also Di Lorenzo being a great SBC for 72,500. We even have the likes of Silva, surprisingly not terrible. If you're looking to build a Real Madrid team, a Brazilian team, and not quite got that position, she's definitely one to not be overlooked. Cancelo in the Saudi League, it's going to be great for links as well, but he does come in with at least a decent amount of stats across the board, and also with the ability for an evolution, hopefully in the near future. And obviously Bremer, Tomori, Bastoni with some great links. And Gravadal coming in as a left back / centre back, he does have the block plus, which is kind of more better for a centre back, but if you are looking to maybe play him in that left back, full back role, it could be a nice option for you. And again, evolutions could come knocking for him. If you need coins in FC25, lootbar.gg has you covered. They are the cheapest trading platform on the game, 8 to 10% cheaper than any others, 8% off if you use the code JT11 at the end at checkout, plus you get 5% extra on coins, with the fastest delivery system going, used by many FC25 creators such as Zorki, Manny Plus, and even Pro Owners. So if you need any coins, head over to lootbar.gg, make sure JT11's in the promo code, and hopefully you enjoy. But this is where I think everybody's kind of at. This is kind of a very standard assumption. You either go up and have like a Virgil, an icon, a hero that you've packed, or this is a very standard place to be. It's nice, it's easy, it's comfortable. Arejo, Militao, Rudiger, all incredible gold centre backs. You've got obviously Koyunde, could play a centre back, but he can be a right back as well. Ferland Mendy, beautiful left back, personally one of my favourite in the game right now. And then obviously Carl Walker coming in relatively cheap. He is being overtaken quite a lot recently, so we will discuss the other right backs. I think the left back position for me is one of the cheapest you can get. You've obviously got a lot of options here, whereas I think when you're looking at the top of the top right backs, there's a lot in the higher category that we will go through, but John Arnarise can be got, well, all of them can be got from a hero pack at this point, because Marquez is in there with the max of 88, but John Arnarise, Bon Pastor, Guerrero, Sakina, and also Mendy, all incredible options at left back. All of them have different ideas. Obviously, when it comes to positions now, we have got different options with what you can go for, because obviously when you do look at the Role Plus, you have got multiple sort of areas that you can attack from. You've got fullback, which is a standard. If you don't know, that is literally just being a left back. This will obviously help you kind of what you're going for. You then have the balance or the defense. So defense is just holding back. Obviously with the balance, it's kind of pushing up a little bit as well. You have got the wing back, which is natural for kind of being in the middle section. It's not necessarily going to push him all the way up, but it will kind of keep him around the center. Got to be careful for the in balls across, because quick step is a massive problem. You have the false back, which is the best described as Trent Alexander-Arnold, someone who comes into the middle on the attack and then balances back out for the defense. You've then obviously got that in balance and also defend, and then you've got the attacking wing back. That is an Alphonso Davies, someone who's going to absolutely go up there. Think of it as your left wing back for this. So All of the left backs are going to have different roles there. You've obviously got someone like Bon Pastor is going to be different to Jean-Arne Riise. So there is different aspects of that which will eventually kind of like balance itself out, and a lot of people will be able to do multiple of them. You can have the plus and the plus plus, which means how you play it is as well as the plus plus is. But when we look at the rest of them, obviously Arejo, Militao, it's easy centre-backs you can go with. A great pairing for what, 70, 80,000 coins. Throw in a Kounde there, throw in like a Ferland Mendy, a La Liga backline. It's very, very simple for me, and I think these are kind of where I would say a standard hit is. Now, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting, because I think for me, the back line that I've seen more so than anything, rather than talking about specials, packing like a Cafu, a Maldini, is you'd have Walker at right back, or anybody that you've packed, or Kounde, I think I've seen quite a bit. You'd have Virgil, Saliba, and Mendy. That's like the standard backline. Courtois in net, you get the links, it works. And then where you go from there with the midfield and the attack is all dependent on your positioning, or formation in fact. If you go 5 back, I believe the other centre-back that I see a lot of is going to be Militao, and normally to me it's kind of is in form. But the other one, if you go in strictly Prem, would be Van de Ven. That card is outrageously good. Once he gets a play star plus, if it's Anticipate or Aerial, we are absolutely done, because that card is going to be broken. It's a fantastic upgrade for him. He's going to be one to definitely watch. Whether we see him in Trailblazers 2, if we do get a Team 2 there, could be an interesting one, because it's going to be a scary upgrade for him. He's kind of taken that limelight already. But Virgil, Saliba, 2 gold centre-backs, they are absolutely worth the money, 100%. They're my personal 2 centre-backs. We've managed to back both of them. They're a rock together. Aerial Plus is obviously broken. We know that in the corner aspect. And then Anticipate is still a very good Playstyle Plus, just like last year. It's exactly the same with the Playstyle Pluses. They all have that sort of value. And now the Plus Plus is taking that to the next level. But then we go on to kind of specials. That's pretty much most of the gold cards. I think we've got one left, which is way up there, which you could probably guess. Have a guess down below who it is. We've got Carvalho, we've got Marquinhos, we've obviously got Romero, and we've got Militao and Van de Ven, as the mentioned, all between the 150, 60 to 200 to 210,000 coins. Now, I personally would argue that Virgil and Saliba could hold that line easily. If you've packed them already, say you've packed an untradeable Romero or Militao, obviously with Romero, still has the possibility of going up in the Europa, gets a +2, which is fantastic for him. Militao obviously stays as an inform, but they are standard. The only thing they're missing now, same as Van de Ven, is a Playstyle Plus. They've got everything else you need. They've got good pace, great defending, good physical. Some of them, like Van de Ven, can go in the evolution for more passing and dribbling, which is outrageous in itself, to be honest, but it's making more of a complete player at this point. But they are waiting for the Playstyle Plus, which takes them that next level up. And then the next kind of section that we'll talk about will be a double Playstyle Plus, extra roll plus plus, and then eventually a triple. It's quite easy to see the progression that they're going for. They're not going super high rated, even though technically Romero could go up, which is going to make him into the 90s, which is already incredible to say we're not in November yet. I am very interested to see how they do that, but realistically they're probably banking on the fact that he's not known to get a crazy amount of cards. So getting this card could be the only one he gets, and then maybe an evolution for a Playstyle Plus later on could be that next step, and that's really it for him until a future star, FUT Birthday, or one of them sort of promos. In terms of the fullbacks, we've obviously got John-Arne Riise again. Didn't realise I had him in both. He's that good, which, to be honest, I'm not even that much of a fan, to be fair. I think 180 is a bit of a hefty price for him. I think Robertson's got a good shout at him. DeMarco's an incredible left back. He is more of an attacking wing back, to be honest. He's obviously got the left mid, but he gets up and down, not a problem whatsoever. And then, like we was talking about with Walker, we have got the likes of Delo and another Premier League right back that are on the talking points over Walker now. Their pace is already incredible. They obviously have got a bit of dribbling, passing as well, and still some very good defending physical that could lead them to overtake him pretty comfortably early on. I don't really remember many going over the gold cards within the first month. Like we normally had a Conte and CDM, Walker right back, obviously you had Virgil, which is standard, and then you'd have somebody Who was even the other? Like, it was kind of, well, I'm thinking way back when you had like the La Liga line, you had Ramos and Piqué together. You obviously had like a Capdevila in gold, and then the right back, or even Ferland Mendy was still chucking about. It was kind of like your Dani Alves and your Marcelos. They didn't get overtaken for a long time, whereas now the second, third promo of the game were already taking out a lot of the golds. It's really the very meta ones that are kind of holding their position and price at this point. Just because I remember they're at the bottom as well. We have got the likes of Bastoni, who should be in the next one that I forgot to put in. Unbelievable for 500,000. Like I said, with his gold, very nice starting point. This is the next level up now. I don't know if I'd go and say buy him for 500, and I think anybody going further on from this list, I would say this is, if you're looking to buy a back line, this is as high priced I'd go. Like Virgil, I'll happily pay for. Saliba, I'd happily pay for. Same as Van de Ven, to be honest. I know I'm going to lose money in the overall, but they're at the point where that's okay. Anybody more now is kind of just where I would go untradeable. Like, I'm not buying a Ledley King for 300,000 when I can go get a Saliba for 185. It is purely how hard they are to pack. You can get one in champs every week if you do, I think it was 9 or 10 wins. And then you've got the SBC that we can get most weeks. I think we're going for the icons this week. And then Bastoni is brand new to the game, which is fair enough. But 500, I could go get Virgil and Saliba for that price. And then you've kind of got the SBCs, because Varane, I think, was 100% worth it. If you've not got a Virgil and also Saliba, he fits in nicely. Now, as a 5-back as well, he fits in that middle. You're going to get some links, but I can imagine the French links should sort you out pretty much with a Saliba, with a Ferland Mendy, a Dembele, and Mbappe. And there's Tchouameni, Thuram, obviously the other Thuram as well. There's a lot of French players that you could get in there, even St. Max on the left-hand side as well. So it's not as if he needs the Serie A links if you need it, but then you do have the likes of Tomori. Great card upgrade for him. 500k again, it kind of comes to the point where if you've packed them, fantastic. I don't know if I'd go out and spend that much on them, especially seeing as though once Black Friday comes and we start getting them big promos that take over, it's going to become where they just drop massively. We do have a few more left backs in here. We have obviously Ashley Cole, Lizarazu, Capdevila. Again, wouldn't pay 400, 500,000 for them. They are purely there on the fact that they are so hard to get at this point. We are getting a max 88 icon either today or Wednesday. I'm assuming it's going to be Wednesday. It was just released or leaked very early on, like early last week, so we normally don't get the leak until like Monday at the minimum. So it is interesting to see if that will come today. I don't think it will, but just in case, that is always an option as well. And whether it has a major impact on like Vidic, Sol Campbell and Ashley Cole will be an interesting point to see. Obviously when it comes to centre backs as well, Gabriel is unbelievable. There is only like 3 or 4 centre backs with Aerial Plus. Virgil's got 2 of them. We've got Gabriel, Cordoba, and then I want to say there was one more somewhere, but I'm pretty sure they were the only ones with an Aerial Plus. Having the multiple options and then throwing in like Fernando Morientes, a closer on them corners, you're just going to dominate. It's so broken on the corners. That is why I could see him being more of a price, and hence why Virgil already is just an absolute king in this game. Cannavaro, though, very much like Cordoba, a little bit on the smaller side for a centre-back, still makes it work. It's always nice when he gets a double playstyle plus, because he can have that like intercept, aerial, bruiser, anticipate, which just helps the defensive intelligence from the card, and it works really well because sometimes he can get bodied pretty quickly, and in the air, it's just non-existent. If you're going against a Haaland, without that aerial plus, he stands very little to no chance getting the ball off him. But if you do put him next to a Virgil, a Vidic, a Rio, a Maldini, a top-end, tall centre-back, it normally works out pretty well. He's kind of that almost kind of go-get-him centre-back, and you have one that stays back. Like, for instance, like a Varane, to be honest. We do have the 2 right-backs. Then we have Trent as the full-back plus, and Loriente as a beautiful right-back. I love the design of this card. The Trailblazer is a nice design. It works really well with a lot of red and purple kits. I think if it was kind of there, I want to say they have an away kit that's different, which would have been beautiful for this sort of card, but they don't really tend to do many away kits, so it is interesting to see nonetheless, but a very nice step up, and the fact that there's still 2 more sets of teams that go even higher than this. Which does lead us to the final gold card. If you got it right, big applause to you. Teo Hernandez at nearly 600,000. Tell me he is not packable. Him and Leao are so expensive together. It is unbelievable. I don't even know why he's that expensive still. Like, he's a very, very good left back. But when you've got Ferland Mendy, who is almost a cheat code in this, it's still just 100,000. Unless you're running the best Serie A team, you don't really need him. Like, for that price, I would much rather wait so much longer to get him later on. I just don't see why people would pay that much for him without running just a solid Serie A team. That is fair enough then, but he's just so expensive for very little outcome back. You have got the rest of them at a very good price as well. Obviously, the other Premier League right back is going to be Gusto. And the big thing for him, and especially why he's so expensive, they're in the conference and Chelsea are doing very well. Now, I'm not saying it's a guaranteed win for them, but they should top the group or at least top two. That means they should get the double upgrade. They should get the Playstyle Plus, which is going to lead this to be one of the best, if not the best right back in the Prem right now. I just, a hands on heart, see that happening. Obviously, he's got a max price of 750, but when you do look at the positions of a right back, we've got Walker as the gold. We've got Trent if you like the full spec. Deleu's obviously a great option. And that's it at this point. So granted, we've got a few more weeks until that does come to the close. Obviously, the Europa League is still going ahead and we've got a fair few games left. But it's not that far away and the stats are still very good. 92 on the pace, 82, 83 on the defending physical. Great dribbling, great passing. Still to get the upgrades as well. That's a very decent right back, probably I'd say at least until after Team of the Year at this point, without getting a Team of the Year that is, unless they hit the progression massively, or they absolutely screw him with the Playstyle Plus. They could give him long ball throw and that would be it. He's kind of just lost all of his value a little bit. We have got some very good centre-backs in this list as well. We've obviously got Kompany as one of the top-end centre-backs in the entire game. Arejo doing the exact same. And then even Blanc and Desailly. Granted, I wouldn't say they're worth the price. I think 900 and 870, far too expensive for me. Like I said, with Virgil and Saliba, that will get you through until the icons take a massive nosedive. Once we start getting the 88s, the 90 SBCs for icons, they are going to drop massively. And then once we start getting the icon actual SBCs, so we can go get a Desailly from an icon SBC eventually, if he does get one, then that is going to have a hindrance on a lot of prices as well. We do have Cordoba with the Aerial Plus, like we said, will help him out massively. Again, you're going to need a tall sort of centre-back with him because he is naturally going to struggle in the air still, but the Aerial Plus is going to give it at least a fair battle. We do have then the right backs down this list. Maicon is unbelievable. Like, we used him very early on in the game. He's incredible. Plus any upgrades that he does get, because we've still not got no upgrades for hero and icons. I know we're getting the on this day hero and icons, and then also I believe dynasties are getting, I want to say heroes, but it could be icons. I can't remember which card was released. I want to say it might have been icons, actually. So we will see heroes more than likely first on on this day sort of promo, which I have not a clue anything about yet. Then we've got Zambrotta and Lahm, both going to be, well, actually, just Zambrotta is going to be available in the icon pack. Lahm is still one too expensive away from it in terms of overall. And then we do have the likes of Frimpong. I'm not sold on Frimpong yet for this sort of price. I think he's very good at what he can do. Very good attacking wingback, but no plus plus, no playstyle plus. I'd probably still rather go for a Walker in terms of price. That's going to be the massive one. If you've packed him, happy days. But for me, 660 for him, with the ability to go up, obviously. That's always a great live pricing, fair enough. Same as Arejo, Barca on absolute form. So I expect the price to be jolted up a little bit more than your standard kind of gold cards, hero icons, Total Rush, Trailblazers. But I'm just not fully sold on the card just yet. Which leads us to the most expensive defenders on the game, which is understandable. Maldini, Cafu, Alberto, Lucio. Yapstam, I've seen a lot. He's very good. I don't know if he's a million coins or if it's just the fact that he's new. He's a very good centre-back. But again, Kompany's in that option. Obviously, a Virgil Gold, I think, still is great for the price in comparison. Now, obviously, Virgil has got his 92 now, which is just nuts. He is one Playstyle Plus away from just being like 10 mil straight off the bat. Defenders only go up to 3.5. Virgil is the most expensive. Maldini is then second. And then it's kind of like a fight across the 1.5 to 1 mil sort of zone. Teo with his upgrade, obviously with his gold being nearly 600,000, you could expect his inform to be just as expensive, so that is fair enough. Again, I wouldn't necessarily go there. I'd still go for a Mendy at this point. Now, he does have the Bruiser Plus, which is nice, but it's not necessarily a game changer for me. Centre-back wise, you've got the pick of the lot. Rio Ferdinand with the Anticipate, Maldini slide tackle, Alberto can play right back or centre-back with the Anticipate, Yapstam with the Bruiser, and Lucio with the block. Now, all of these, it's the best defence you can get. You'd obviously go something like a Roberto Carlos, a Virgil, Maldini, Carfu, Alberto, Maicon sort of right back. It's just an easy one that picks, but it's so expensive. I wouldn't say go and buy any of these players because you'd much rather spend that on the attack. Go get yourself a back line that's just solid. Million coins, 2 million, mil to mil and a half, and you've got a back line that can last you to team of the year quite easily. Now, we do have Thuram as well. I could imagine, well, more than likely he's going to get an Ultimate Dynasties if they do the icons because he's got his two sons in there and then obviously himself. I'd think it's very silly not to do that trio. Same as like the Abide Pele. Obviously, he's got his cousins in there. His cousins? Or there might be his nephews, I think they are. I don't know. No, they've got to be nephews. Because you've got Ayew and the other one. I can't remember what they are. But they obviously have got a nice trio as well. Whereas you've got a father and double son pairing. It's kind of like how Zidane should have been. We should have had we did have a Zidane last year, but like the Zidane, and then I'm pretty sure he's got 3 sons that did play. I don't know if one's retired now and then he's got 2 more left. It's kind of like that. You need to get that trio in there. So I can imagine he will be in that promo. And really, that's everybody. I would stick to like the 300 max sort of zone per player on this. I don't think there's necessarily a massive advantage of going this high up. I think it's very good if you can. If you pack one, like I said, untradeable, whatever, absolutely happy days. But I wouldn't necessarily go out with the mind of paying this much for a defense at this point in the game. They will drop, and they'll drop absolutely hard when everybody has different promos coming out. Let me know your back line though, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.